New reporting here after that unprecedented FBI search at the home of former President Trump at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Tonight, ABC News has learned that the FBI told the Secret Service just 45 minutes before they arrived, and then the Secret Service telling Mar-a-Lago staff just moments before those agents arrived. Sources telling ABC News the search is related to allegations the former president improperly removed documents when he left the White House.
Tonight, we are getting new information on that hours-long search of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence in Florida. With heightened security tonight, you see it right here flanking the compound. NBC News reporting the search was tied to classified material Trump allegedly took from the White House when he left in 2021.
News just into our newsroom. Former President Donald Trump says his Mar-a-Lago home has been raided by the FBI. The former president has since released a statement saying in part, quote, "These are dark times for our nation as my beautiful home, a Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. Nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States."
Good evening, and we're coming back on the air at this hour with major developments in the special counsel's investigation into former President Donald Trump. ABC News has confirmed at this hour that Donald Trump and his lawyers have just been informed about 20 minutes ago that the former president needs to be at a federal court in Miami on Tuesday at 3 p.m. to be processed on federal charges.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Norah O'Donnell in Washington, and we are coming on the air with historic news. For the first time ever in American history, a former president of the United States has been indicted.
Historic news about former President Trump. In a new federal indictment, now facing 7 charges, including one under the Espionage Act, over his alleged mishandling of hundreds of classified documents after leaving the White House.
We begin our report with an indictment to come and an indictment amended. First, to the amendment. Federal prosecutors have filed additional charges against Donald Trump in the classified documents case. The former president now faces 1 new count of willful retention of national defense information and 2 new obstruction counts.
The Espionage Act has been used to go after traitors and spies. It has nothing to do with a former president legally keeping his own documents. As president, the law that applies to this case is not the Espionage Act, but very simply the Presidential Records Act, which is not even mentioned in this ridiculous 44-page indictment.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Crypto plus Passports equals Freedom. I'm your host, Ohini Mara. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely leave a comment and share this video so we can attack that YouTube algorithm and grow this channel. And with that, let's get into today's topic. Today, we will be discussing why Donald J. Trump will never be president again. Before we get started, let me say I am not a fan of politics. I believe that the Democrats and the Republicans are one and the same. I do not believe they have the best interests of the people in mind, and they are simply here to distract us from realizing that the system is broken and corrupt. I believe both Democrats and Republicans use shady tactics to turn people against one another based on race, gender, religion, and beliefs. So, this is not a video supporting the former president or any political views. It is simply to speak to why individuals may not want him to seek office again and the lengths they are willing to go to prevent it. As you know, Donald J. Trump, who is a former president of the United States, has been charged with a multitude of violations regarding confidential documents and removing them from the White House to his private residence. Now, if this is in fact a serious crime, I have never in my life heard of prosecutors pursuing a former president with the magnitude they are seeking with Donald J. Trump. The question is, why are they so intent on seeking to prosecute the former president? This becomes more interesting when you realize that former presidential candidate Hillary Rodham Clinton was found to have a government-issued hard drive to her private residence and deleted over 3,000 emails when she learned she would be investigated. She clearly had violated the law, and yet no one pursued her with the ferocity that they are seeking against former President Donald J. Trump. In fact, When she was questioned about her violations in front of the Senate committee, she felt comfortable enough to bully them and scream at them. She walked out of the hearing with no charges, and the incident was never discussed again. The current president, Joe Biden, committed a similar act. He was found with a number of confidential documents sitting in his garage next to one of his vehicles. He is also possibly an important piece in his son's current investigation of misdeeds. It is alleged that Hunter Biden may have illegally acted as an ambassador, accepting money from foreign governments and possibly trading information. People are alleging he used his father's position as vice president to do so. This is without the fact that Hunter Biden is looking for a plea deal for domestic criminal acts as we speak. No one is currently pursuing the current president's son or the president with the same ferocity, despite the fact the president has committed the same violation as former President Donald J. Trump, and his son is facing a number of charges and being investigated for more serious ones. The reason I am discussing this is that the former president now has more charges added to the list of charges that are already filed against him. He is now being charged with evidence tampering because prosecutors allege that he asked a staff member to delete video on his property that may be critical to their case. The question I am asking is, why are they going after this man with such intense passion? What is his real crime? In my opinion, I believe Donald J. Trump cannot be president because, in many ways, he is breaking away from the status quo. He is not a Washington insider, so he does not understand that the real goal of the Democrats and Republicans is to keep the American people poor, living paycheck to paycheck, struggling, and working dead-end jobs. I do not believe that Donald J. Trump understands that the government is not here to help the people. It is actually here to work against them. I believe that Donald J. Trump does not understand that taxes are not designed to fund schools, fix infrastructure, pay for police and fire departments, as well as fix roads and bridges. Taxes are actually designed to ensure that American citizens never have the opportunity to rise above their station. While I must state again that I am not a supporter of the Democrats or Republicans, and while I do not believe that Donald J. Trump has a vested interest in helping people in my community, I do believe that his mistake was he tried to actually provide solutions for problems. I do not believe that this man understands that the government's job is not to provide solutions, but to place band-aids on issues and kick problems down the road. Because of this, he has become a villain to the media, to the Democrats, and the Republicans. If you pay attention, both sides of the political parties do not like this man. These political parties have spent years giving people the impression that nothing can get done in Washington. They have spent a lifetime convincing people that political gridlock prevents them from doing what is right. Donald J. Trump does not behave like one of them, and thus he is an outsider. Again, while I cannot support him, I can understand why the media, Washington, and uninformed people do not like him. Trump has brought the CEO mindset to the presidency and has inadvertently revealed that the government is a scam. The fact that he is a solution-based individual and his time as a CEO was focused on problem solving, he brought that concept to a place that did not want it. Washington is not a place where people solve problems. It is a place where everything remains stagnant, nothing is solved, and issues get kicked down the road. I believe that they ignored Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden's indiscretions because they understand that Washington is designed to make problems, not fix them. It is designed to take things away from the American citizens, not to give them to them. Trump has failed to understand this concept, and so they do not want to invite him back for a second presidency. Therefore, they are seeking to use these charges to eliminate him as a presidential candidate. The reason I am discussing this is because he speaks directly to the concept of crypto plus passports equals freedom. And going after former President Trump, the system has exposed that they behave as a criminal enterprise and will do anything to suppress dissent or change. With the advent of crypto allowing us to escape the rat race and eventually find financial freedom, we have sent the system into an uproar because we were never meant to discover freedom from the system. Our responsibility as citizens was to work ourselves to death, struggle under soul-crushing debt, pay ridiculous taxes, and then go off to die. We were never supposed to discover the beauty of being free from this system, the beauty of breaking away from modern-day slavery. I believe Donald J. Trump's style as president was a direct threat to the old system, and he may have inadvertently inspired a number of people to wake from a long slumber and challenge the status quo. I believe for these reasons, he is being punished, and they are working very hard to ensure that he does not get another presidency. And with that, that concludes the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you agree or do you disagree with what I'm saying? I want to definitely thank you for stopping by for another session. And until next time, take care.